video consistency doesn't mean shit when you're sick. Like, if you have plans to, like, upload a bunch of stuff in a row and you catch, like, the flu, which I'm pretty sure I caught during the past week, and I had a shit ton of work as well, all plans go out the window. Like, I was too sick to even get out of the bed. But, yeah, I'm back with a battle, and I'm also looking at the like ratings on the last video. Can we do that again? Like, can that be a regular thing? That would be awesome. So, what I suggest now is you leave a like at the beginning of the video, because, I mean, you're probably here because you were subbed. So, it's a nice little thing. Just leave it, and then if you decide, hey, you don't like the battle, you can always change your mind. You can click the like button again and unlike it or whatever. I'm pretty sure you can undo that shit. I don't know, but it'd be fantastic if we could keep that going, because that made my day. Anyway, this is a battle against a random passerby. He seems to know what he's doing. He had a really cocky message when I saw on the bottom little ticker thing when I got online. I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta bring some stuff, and I gotta play this guy, and I gotta see how good he is. So, I believe I decided to double there because I didn't like the matchup, but then it turns out that he switches into Jolteon anyway, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go into Rotom right now because I know I can take Thunders, I can take T-Bolts, and now I don't have to fear about getting paralyzed or anything like that. But seeing that he's going for Thunder and I don't see Life or Recall, I think he's Choice Specs. And it turns out he's not, but he also doesn't have HP Ice or Grass, it looks like, because he hard switches out immediately. That's very valuable knowledge to me, having a Nidoking, which means I can switch it in on Jolteon as many times as I want. That, or he wants to get me a little bit lower before he actually feels safe going for it, but honestly, I don't really mind either way. And then, oh my god, Nidoking puts in so much work this game. If you haven't used one recently, or if you've just left this thing on the wayside, it's fantastic this generation. I don't know. Ever since I made that thing, it's been winning me games left and right. Life Orb Nidoking has always been the shit, and it's so good right now. I don't understand why. I'm also realizing that when I put this team together, I didn't really make anything to take a Scald, so I was like, well, if I'm gonna have anything burned, it might as well be my Rapid Spinner. I'm not seeing any immediate entry hazards, especially now that Ferrothorn is dead, so I'm like, well, I might not even really need this thing around, to be honest. You know, I'll be down a physical wall, but I'd rather have this thing status, and I'd rather have a safe switch in to something else, because I don't want anything else taking a Scald that it doesn't need to. So, I did poison his Politoed, which is nice and awesome, and I do have a Rotom here. I believe I actually decided to go for the trick right now because he switched into his Jolteon every time. So I'm like, okay, I got the rhythm down. I'm going to dump a Choice Scarf on him, and then it turns out that he actually had a Sap Plate on this thing. I don't know if it's to just bluff it or if he doesn't have any items yet. But Drizzle also wears out, which is pretty important because we've seen that Thunder is one of his main attacking moves. But I get to go into my Nidoking, and now, like, it is down to just, oh, electric move, let's just go into Nidoking, because it's going to get me a free hit on anything else that wants to come in. So I do predict the Gyarados to come in. That was obvious, so obvious, and I'm just going to go for the Sludge Wave, because I actually don't have, I don't think I have T-Bolt on this set, because I find that Ice is the better attacking type. This is like one of the only scenarios where I've missed having T-Bolt, but if you saw how much Sludge Wave did to Gyarados, and hello, that's a resisted hit. That's supposed to be a resisted hit. That's a 2-hit KO. Like, and I get to go for the Earth Power right now. Nidoking. Woo! Get him. That's awesome. So, Toxicroak turns out to be slower, ends up dying as well, and we see the Diggersby. So, I've seen this thing's base speed, and I know that if he's running, like, Jolly, I think if he's running Jolly Scarf or just, like, Adamant Scarf in general, he can actually outspeed me. So I don't want to fuck around with that at all. I decided I'm going to go straight into my Rotom, because if there's anything you can expect from a Diggersby, it's an Earthquake. And I decided I'm just going to go into my Rotom and then go for an Overheat, because the odds of him bringing in his Politoed are really low, and he's probably going to bring in something to resist the electric move, like his Jolteon, which has been in 3 out of 3 times. I decide that's enough messing around with that, and I'm just going to go for an Overheat. I also am not choiced anymore, so even if this Politoed comes in, I still have the freedom of going for a T-Bolt or a Volt Switch. I decided I wanted to go for the T-Bolt instead, just because I do need the safe switch in. I don't really need Rotom as much anymore because Ferrothorn's gone. Gyarados is at a manageable amount of HP. I still have a Focus Sash Alakazam lying in the wings if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really have to worry about it, especially if it gets out of control. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, shit, where were we? Okay, so I Mega Evolve into Absol, and I decide I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch, because if you try to status it, it just gets bounced back onto you. There's not a lot of point in doing anything to Absol except for attacking. So, goes into Diggersby now, and the way he brings it in is just like, are you actually faster than me? And it turns out that he's not, but now he is, because I didn't even know this thing got agility, and I'm kind of scared, because it's just like, well, shit. I have to get some damage off on it so that way Zam can take it out with Psychic. I have to use my Sash up here. And he ends up just knocking me out with an Earthquake because Diggersby is kind of scary. So I bring in my Zam now. It turns out he's actually Life Orb Agility, which I really like Agility Life Orb users. Talk to my freaking 4th gen Zapdos about that, which I'm actually going to get to bring back as soon as Bank comes out. So he has Thief. And it turns out that it just activates my Focus Sash, so he doesn't even take it anyway, but he wouldn't even have been able to take it because he has a Life Orb. So I don't really know why he has Thief, but I guess it was kind of interesting there. And I should have predicted this. I really should have. He hadn't Mega'd at all at this point in the game, so I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to go for Psychic to take it out. I do have Dazzling Gleam, and I do have Focus Blast. I could have just as easily gone for the Dazzling Gleam. That probably would have taken out from that range. So I don't know what I was doing pissing around like that. But he chooses not to DD, and he just goes straight for the kill. So I found that kind of interesting, especially because if he Dragon Danced and he had enough speed investment, he could have outsped me. But because he doesn't, I'm actually just able to Earth Power him because he lost his, what is it? Flying type. So I can just do that, and then I believe that's the end of the game. So that was a fun little Passerby game I had going on there. I have a couple of others saved up, I guess maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 more. And I'm going to try to work on getting some more as well. Just have some fun with the pokes I have right now before I import like everything I have over. Because it's on my ace card, I have to trade like at least 550 pokes to my retail card. That's not going to be fun, but that's going to have to happen eventually just to get myself upgraded. So, anyways, that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, you can leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And that should do it out of me. And I am hoping to see you guys on Monday. I'll see if I get some time to narrate or something like that. We'll see. Bye.